In the depths of the Louisiana swamps, nestled beneath a shroud of Spanish moss and the ceaseless croaking of frogs, there exists a spine-tingling tale known as the Bayou Banshee's Revenge. This is a story about an incident that unfolded in the early 20th century and how a haunting legend whispered in its aftermath became a chilling reality. In the year 1923, a remote bayou community known as Cypress Haven found itself plagued by a malevolent force. The townsfolk, resilient Cajun fishermen and trappers, spoke in hushed tones of the Banshee, a wailing spirit that had haunted their ancestors for generations. It was said that the Banshee only appeared in times of great sorrow or misfortune, heralding impending doom with her mournful cries. One stormy night, a massive hurricane swept through Cypress Haven, leaving destruction in its wake. Homes were reduced to rubble, boats were dashed against trees, and the once thriving fishing industry was in ruins. In the aftermath of the storm, the people of Cypress Haven were devastated, and their grief echoed through the bayou like a mournful dirge. It was during this time of despair that the Banshee's wails returned, heard by many as they lay huddled in their makeshift shelters. The spectral figure, a woman shrouded in tattered rags with long, disheveled hair, appeared on the outskirts of the town. Her mournful cries sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to look upon her. As the town's misfortunes mounted, so did the sightings of the Banshee. She was often spotted near the water's edge, her hollow eyes filled with sorrow, as if mourning the bayou itself. Some said she whispered the names of those destined to face tragedy, foretelling their grim fates. As the legend of the Bayou Banshee's revenge spread, fear and paranoia took hold of Cypress Haven. The townspeople were convinced that the Banshee's presence was a curse, and they blamed her for the misfortunes that had befallen their community. In a desperate attempt to appease the vengeful spirit, a group of townsfolk ventured into the depths of the bayou, armed with charms and rituals passed down through generations. They sought to banish the Banshee from Cypress Haven forever. However, their efforts only seemed to anger the spirit. The Banshee's wails grew louder, her presence more menacing. The townsfolk who had sought to rid themselves of her were plagued by nightmares and relentless bad luck. It wasn't until years later, when the bayou had reclaimed the ruins of Cypress Haven, that the Banshee's wails finally ceased. The town's legend had become a chilling reality, a reminder that the past can resurface with terrifying consequences. To this day, the legend of the Bayou Banshee's revenge lives on. Locals say that the Banshee's cries can still be heard on stormy nights and that her curse lingers in the swamp's murky waters, waiting to claim those who dare to venture too deep into the bayou's heart.
In the shadowed heartland of America, nestled beneath a canopy of ancient oaks, lies the unsettling legend of the Silver Lake haunting. This is a story of an incident that unfolded in the late 19th century and how a chilling legend whispered in its aftermath became a terrifying reality. It was 1893 when the small, picturesque town of Silver Lake found itself ensnared in the grip of darkness. The townsfolk lived peaceful lives, their days filled with the tranquility of a shimmering lake and the comfort of close-knit community bonds. One fateful summer evening, a massive thunderstorm swept over Silver Lake, bringing with it torrents of rain and relentless lightning. As the tempest raged on, the townspeople gathered in their homes, seeking refuge from the wrath of nature. As the clock struck midnight, a deafening clap of thunder echoed through the town. The storm intensified, and the lightning illuminated the sky in a series of blinding flashes. In the midst of the chaos, a bolt of lightning struck the steeple of the town's centuries-old church. The resulting explosion rocked Silver Lake, sending shards of wood and stone hurtling in all directions. The once proud church crumbled to the ground, leaving only a smouldering ruin. Miraculously, no one in the town was harmed physically, but their hearts were heavy with sorrow. In the days that followed, the townsfolk began to speak of a legend. They said that the lightning had awakened an ancient spirit that had been trapped beneath the church for centuries. This spirit, known as the Wailing Reverend, was said to be the restless soul of a preacher who had met a tragic end. The legend whispered that the Wailing Reverend's presence could be felt on stormy nights. His mournful cries could be heard echoing across the lake, a chilling lament for the injustice that had befallen him. It was believed that those who saw him would be cursed, their lives forever haunted by his anguished spirit. Over the years, the legend of the Wailing Reverend grew, and the townspeople came to fear the storms that raged over Silver Lake. Some claimed to have seen the spectral figure on moonless nights, his form illuminated only by the ethereal glow of his spectral lantern. It wasn't until 1937, on the anniversary of the church's destruction, that the legend became a horrifying reality. A violent storm descended upon Silver Lake, and a group of curious teenagers ventured out to the church's ruins, daring each other to summon the Wailing Reverend. As they chanted an incantation beneath the raging storm, a blinding flash of lightning illuminated the ruins. To their horror, the Wailing Reverend materialized before their eyes, his hollow eyes fixated on the intruders. Panic ensued as the teenagers fled in terror, but the curse of the Wailing Reverend had already taken hold. In the years that followed, each of them experienced a series of unexplainable tragedies and misfortunes. It seemed that the legend had become a chilling reality. To this day, the legend of the Silver Lake haunting persists. Locals say that on stormy nights, the mournful cries of the Wailing Reverend can still be heard echoing across the lake. A reminder that some legends are born from true horror, and that those who dare to summon the darkness may find it waiting, eager to make the legend a reality once more.
Deep in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, where ancient woods hold secrets untold, lies the bone-chilling tale of the Whispering Hollow. This story is about an incident that occurred in the late 1800s and how a haunting legend whispered in its aftermath became a horrifying reality. In a remote corner of Appalachia, nestled among the towering trees and rolling hills, there existed a secluded town called Harrow's Hollow. It was a place untouched by modernity, where the townsfolk lived simple lives and their stories were steeped in tradition. In 1895, a terrible tragedy befell Harrow's Hollow. A ruthless epidemic swept through the town, claiming the lives of countless residents. Families were torn apart, and the once thriving community became a ghost town, its streets empty and its houses abandoned. In the wake of the epidemic, a legend began to circulate among the remaining townsfolk. They spoke of a spectral presence known as the Harrowing Whisperer, a vengeful entity born from the collective grief and sorrow of those who had perished. It was said that the Whisperer could be heard in the winds that rustled through the hollow, and its voice was a mournful, ghostly whisper that carried messages from beyond the grave. The legend went on to say that those who ventured into the Whispering Hollow at night risked encountering the Whisperer. It was believed that anyone who heard its eerie whispers would be cursed, their fate sealed by the malevolent spirit. Years passed and Harrow's Hollow remained abandoned, its once thriving homes slowly succumbing to nature's embrace. But in 1947, a group of curious outsiders decided to explore the eerie, overgrown town. Armed with flashlights and cameras, they set out to document the town's mysterious history. As night fell, the visitors entered the Whispering Hollow, their footsteps echoing through the silent streets. It wasn't long before they began to hear the faintest of whispers on the wind. At first, they dismissed it as a trick of their imagination, but the whispers grew louder and more insistent. Panic set in as the whispers took on a mournful, spectral quality, and the visitors realized they were not alone. Shadowy figures emerged from the darkness, their faces twisted in anguish. It was the vengeful souls of those who had perished in the epidemic, seeking to communicate with the living. The visitors fled in terror, but the curse of the Whispering Hollow had already taken hold. In the years that followed, they experienced relentless misfortune and unexplained tragedies. It seemed that the Whisperer's curse had become a chilling reality. To this day, the legend of the Whispering Hollow persists, serving as a grim reminder that some stories are born from true horror. The Appalachian woods still hold the secrets of the vengeful Whisperer, and those who dare to venture into its depths may find themselves ensnared by the haunting legend that came to life.